season. Unfortunately, we have to say goodbye. All the best. St. Augustine College. Congratulations on winning the contest. I look forward to seeing you at the...
Well, they have had the honor of being beaten by St. Augustine's. They can go back and brag about that. At the very least, they don't have to say we were beaten by Swedeboro. They can say we were beaten by St. Augustine's. Maybe that.
Okay, good morning, guys.
Hi, good morning. Daniel, so this morning, from my heart to yours, whatever my Lord thou hast taught me to say, it is well. It is well.
Oh, it's well with my soul.
And
anyway,
yes,
thank you very much.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. So yesterday, big news: St. Augustine's College beats Infantipim School by 20 points. It was no small win. But moving on, we have some exciting contests. It is the last day for the 1/8 stage. So we have Koba Girls, we have Obuasi SHTS, we have St. Francis Xavier going today. We also have GSTS Mawuli Ola. And then we have West African SHS, Takrady SHS, and Sogakope SHS as well. Mind you, the quarterfinals are starting tomorrow. Presec will be facing off. So exciting stuff coming up. We'll give you the details of the quarterfinals tomorrow as they begin.
And we'll also be having an extended conversation on the National Science and Maths quiz today on the Super Morning Show.
Which you've been trying to avoid.
Expect the morning man, Kojo Yankson, here on the show as he joins us to remind us of how they beat us. Yeah, it will be painful, but we'll do it. Let's do the front pages now.
Now, the Ghanaian Times is reporting this morning low pension payments. Panelists call for change in workers' contribution, and the Media Foundation for West Africa is urging government to protect journalists against attacks. There's one also about president receiving credentials from 4 envoys. New policy to deal with plastics soon. And the person who's talking about it, okay, I don't say the school you went to anyway, but that's on the front page of the Ghanaian Times.
The Gold Street business has government allocates 2 oil blocks, 3 more to be auctioned next year. Government incurring huge demerit charges while seeking import duty exemptions. Investors oversubscribe ESLA 10-year bonds.
Now, the Ghanaian Observer is reporting this morning MPP charges EC to extend limited registration exercise, and there's one about uproar over new 450-seat parliament chamber heightens, and the president commissions AstroTurf at UPSA is on the front page there. An MP is donating to the Medina Health Center, and this is an ambulance anyway.
The Today newspaper has customer confidence grows at GN Savings. Mining companies warned over Etiwa Forest. VAG Lotto to stop illegal lottery and leave our DCE alone. That's Bolsa South MPP.
Etiwa Bauxite opposes. They are Galamsey people. That's according to the minister. There's also one on the front page. There's a new twist in the cybercrime case against the modern Ghana people. That I'll be giving you later on in the course of this show. But a pastor is begging another pastor in the defamation case. All of these are on the front page of the Daily Guide.
The New Crusading Guide newspaper is continuing with its Torture Home Part 4. Orphan child its own feces, man of God in abuse galore. Drama at Ikoyi Hills. I was beaten, arrested, detained at the police station and forced to write false statements in relation to torture home. That's an orphan crying. And arrest Reverend Lamina, that's gender minister charging the Ghana police.
The Chronicle is reporting this morning 86% of Ghanaians are not on any pension scheme, and rules of court are not to be prostituted. That's also on the front page of the Chronicle. The last one you should be interested in is you can't move cargo in the night. This is according to an order from above from the Tema for people who operate at the Tema Harbour.
The Daily Statesman newspaper has ban on plastics waste not in Ghana's best interest. That's the minister saying. Government to employ private nurses. Red alert. NDC to break loose with Azoka boys, hawks at Kumiem Preku. Police intelligence says.
Kumiem Preku.
Yeah. Now, the final is the very last paper I have before me. 2 oil blocks taking, negotiations set to begin. That's on the front page of the Finder. With National Security denies torturing, Modern Ghana deputy editor and Kokoko Charities Foundation donates 35 incubators, outdoors fund scheme. And there's one about MPP selling September 28th for primaries at constituencies without MP.
The Daily Graphic newspaper has Chinese woman in Rosewood saga deported. Police take delivery of 250 body cameras. Compute pensions on salaries allowances that stakeholders agreeing. Arrest Echoing Hills staff management. That's Charles Rice International asking. Back page of the Daily Graphic newspaper. Ghana finished top atop Group F after crashing Guinea-Bissau 2-0. Benin draw pits Cameroon against Nigeria.
So, wait, torture or cybercrime?
Yeah, now, okay, so cybercrime is what the new truth is supposed to suggest, and it's saying that beyond the people who work at Modern Ghana, there are 2 who were arrested and, according to them, tortured, according to National Security, untouched and nicely treated. And there's a third person. And big man A.R. Gomda of Daily Guide is instituting some very clear-cut direction on this matter. He says the third suspect, they've deliberately withheld the name, works with a popular radio station here in Accra. That third suspect has also been picked up by the police in connection with this cybercrime-related event. That's what the Daily Guide is saying. They say the details are that the third suspect is suspected to have been working with the 2 from the institution Modern Ghana, and by their conduct, the cybercrime charge may be leveled against the third person as they prepare to put them before court. We do know that the indication from the National Security statement that specifically they couldn't have actually put the people before court, it was actually done. Now, what we know for a fact is that the court case did not happen. We know that yesterday, Akabli stayed virtually the entire day in court, looking for which court they will put the 2 suspects or one of them, especially the one. When the gentleman was supposed to be put before court, he was going from radio station to radio station telling his whole story and saying to the rest of us in this country that he's not been told that there's a court date, he's not been asked to appear in any court, and he's not been given any indication that he'll be put before court anytime soon. So that is what is currently happening. We know that you're supposed to go to the hospital for some medical examination. That medical examination, according to National Security, is supposed to exonerate them of any form of torture. Now, there's an ongoing conversation where it is alleged that when some people asked the gentleman, were you really tortured? You don't look like you are tortured. So, you cannot just look at people's faces and say they were not tortured. And that if there is need for the examination to be done, it will reveal that there was massive torture. Indeed, he insists that he was slapped several times. He insists that there was a taser or so that was used on him. Electric shocks were applied to his body too, in various forms that was reminiscent of very cruel treatment, contrary to the laws of this republic. And National Security has insisted that under President Akufo-Addo,
right,
this is not how they operate. And that's also what the indication is there. The NDC is demanding the resignation and or suspension of the minister in charge of national security, Albert Kandapa. In this particular case, they believe that this sign is bad for the nation. The Media Foundation for West Africa, the private newspaper people, the Primpag, the One Ghana movement, and there is some loud silence that is pretty becoming definite now. That is that of the Ghana Journalists Association.
Do you remember, Raymond, that one of the justifications for appointing a national security minister was accountability?
Yes, one of the people who can hold responsible for the conduct of national security, so we don't make it look like it's been done under some carpet.
So I think that it's imperative for Mr. Kandapa to make an emphatic statement on this. Even though, yes, national security has issued a statement, but it will be good for Mr. Kandapa to also speak.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for my people to do that first. The Ghana Journalists Association.
Oh, Dr. Rolanda Philmoni. Good morning, Oza.
Yes, sir.
We are waiting
with bated breath to hear from you. Yeah, at least. Anyway.
Daniel, do you remember Aisha Huang?
The Galante Queen, yeah.
Yes, what happened to her?
She was deported and her prosecution was truncated, right?
Well, there's another Huang. This one is Helena Huang. Her real name is Huang Yanfeng.
The Rosewood Queen.
She's also a queen, yes. I wanted to say she suffered the same fate as Aisha Huang, but I'm not sure whether she suffered. I think this one, she enjoyed the same fate as Aisha Huang, because the Daily Graphic is reporting that Huang Yanfeng, also known as Helena Huang, has been deported from the country. Huang Yanfeng is noted for Rosewood activities. In fact, she's christened as Rosewood Queen. We remember that she was arrested this year at Viting, a barrier in Tamale, where she was escorting 2 containers of rosewood to Tema for onward exportation to China. Now, when she was arrested, she jumped bail and she was rearrested a few weeks after. Now she was put before court, but the Comptroller General Kwame Esuwa-Techi issued an order saying that her permission to live in Ghana, her residency permit, had been revoked. So she was deported. She's actually left Ghana. She's gone to China after escorting these containers of rosewood. It was actually reported later that she had 30 other containers of rosewood in the Upper West region.
30?
Yes. We know subsequently her company was closed down in the Damangu area there where this rosewood is being cut. But of course, she's also been deported as happened to Aisha Huang.
I see.
And she's gone.
And she's also Chinese.
Yes, she's also Chinese. It would seem that if you come from a particular country, the laws do not necessarily apply to you. Yeah. Remember the gentleman, the Nigerian guy who is alleged to have played a role in the kidnapping of the Tadi girls. Remember when he jumped bail, he was rearrested and tried
outside this country
and tried for jumping bail, and he's serving prison sentence currently just for jumping bail.
Yeah.
Which is an offense under the laws.
The document suggests that he was also here illegally and that he had not gotten the documents to stay for the period that was supposed to stay. So he could have just deported and said, go to your country anyway.
Anyway, Raymond, do you have a pension scheme?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay.
But to be fair, 86% of the people in this republic don't have pension
schemes. So I was going to say you and only 14%.
Yes, we are in that majority. Even in my grouping of the 14%, the terrible statistics that is only 4% that actually have enough contribution for them to enjoy a monthly pension of 1,000 Ghana cedi.
Oh.
Yes, only 4% out of the 14%. It's only 4% that actually contribute enough amount of money so that at the end of the month when they are retired, they can receive 1,000 Ghana cedi.
That's serious.
Yes.
So what's the solution?
So the solution in this case is that government is partnering with the private sector to make sure that they rope in more people. And there's also another conversation about increasing or improving the amount of money that people contribute to their pension schemes. And again, I thought this was supposed to be fixed with the other tiers we brought on board, but it looks like it's not a solution anytime soon. The main solution is when you increase people's pay, you automatically are increasing their pension contributions. So it actually tells you that generally people pay in this country are extremely low. Let's not forget about that, because it's out of your salary that you get to contribute to what they call it.
There's a percentage
scheme.
base.
Yes.
It's a percentage of your salary which is taken. Your company pays a certain percentage of that amount which becomes your pension.
Yes.
So the lower you receive, whatever percentage of a low amount is
certainly
small.
going to guarantee you a very small one. So we need to have that conversation again, because people ought to be guaranteed a better future, and it has always been the reason why we insulated the people in Article 71 and gave them very wonderful packages, because we needed them protected against graft, against all the things that they can do against the state when they are in office as officers. You get the logic?
Yeah.
So why don't we extend the insulation to all of us in this country, since we all ought to be protected against engaging in corruption, against engaging in acts that will undermine the state and all of its forms?
Considering how widespread corruption is, that could be a point. But do we have the monetary capacity? Do we have the money to pay? I mean, that's another question that we have to look at.
No, we don't have the money to pay. We are trying to find money to build a new parliamentary chamber. Of course, Parliament is divided. Parliament is divided over this. The Daily Graphic, Musa Yahya Jafar, is reporting that parliamentarians are divided over the matter, and of course, as expected, they are divided along political lines. Okay. The majority members of Parliament are in support of the building of the new chamber. The minority members are opposing the construction of a new chamber of parliament. Now, the majority MPs led by New Patriotic Party MP for Bantama, Mr. Daniel Ochema Boaji, and MPP MP for Mansu Edubia, Yao Frimpom Ado. And the minority, on the minority side, headed by NDC MP for North Tong, Samolo Kujita Blakwa, and NDC MP for Biom, Daniel Kwesi Eshiama. These are the MPs who spoke to the Daily Graphic. And of course, they took varying positions regarding plans to construct a new chamber. And this new chamber is expected to have facilities such as a diplomatic office, a library, a museum, a church, a mosque, eateries, press conference rooms, galleries, a car park, and an upper gallery garden, a post office, and other facilities to complete the parliamentary enclave. These are the facilities that are expected to be part of the new chamber. But there is opposition from some NDC MPs, and there is support from some MPP MPs. The NDC MPs argue that there are more important things such as roads, hospitals, schools to be constructed, and they believe that this amount of money, which will be used in constructing a new parliamentary chamber, should rather be spent on these very rather important things rather than building a parliamentary chamber. Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, who speaks for the minority, argues that, look, he thinks that the money should be geared towards getting better people to do research for MPs, that will capacitate MPs to do their work well.
And they don't have
if they make funding available, it will attract a high caliber of researchers who will conduct better research to aid the work of MPs. He's a ranking member on foreign affairs, we know this. He says that if you go to developed democracies such as the United Kingdom, the United States, and even Kenya, legislators have offices in their constituencies. That doesn't happen in Ghana. And Daniel, yesterday you were talking about the MPP MP who said in his constituency he meets his constituents under a tree. Ablakwa's argument is, if MPs were consulted, they may have suggested that some of this money should be used to build offices for MPs in their constituencies rather than build a new parliamentary chamber.
And Oseche Mensah Bonsu has placed a ceiling of about $200 million on the construction of this. He said it shouldn't cost more than $200 million.
And talking about ceiling, Ablakwa also argues that they should actually place a ceiling or cap on the number of MPs that will be elected, so that this argument about building the parliamentary chamber to cater for a future expansion in the number of MPs will not even rise at all. Of course, the majority side disagree. Dan Olochima Abuaji argues that it is important that if you look at our current population, and Raymond was making this argument yesterday, there are constituencies that have 10,000 voters. Some other constituencies have more than 350,000. He says that it's lopsided when you look at these numbers.
If you look at the way people vote in this country, a lot of people travel to vote. So if you just look at the names on the voters register, is this representative enough? In
the developed democracies that we are looking at, it does not exist anywhere that you have equal numbers for constituencies. It doesn't happen. Some constituencies are populous, others are not. It doesn't change anything.
Good point. Thank you.
Sorry. Just so I make a point in there. Representation and the number is reflecting that it's not established as a rule in other countries. There are general principles in political science that establish that. It's not developed democracies that determine that. So every country's ultimate interest is to push for greater representation.
I'm saying the countries you are learning from.
No. So Raymond, your point is that if someone does differently somewhere, it doesn't mean that
that's a standard. I mean,
it's fine. It's fine. Here's something that people do elsewhere. They charge sports fines.
Yes, they charge sports fines, but
it's a good idea if we do it here.
Right? We are even
spitting, not literally spitting.
Okay, so what we are going to do this year, getting to the end of the year, is make sure that the various district assembly who have the laws on their side to help them do so can do the sport fines. So if you are caught littering, specifically you'll be charged amounts that are within your range, and the districts will determine the amounts on their own. They are going to be compelled by the Water Resources and Sanitation Minister to make sure that they develop these laws. This is to check sanitation at the basic level. She made this point when she went to the Ashanti region, that's Cecilia Dapa.
Yeah.
She went to the Ashanti region and distribute some litter bins. And she's intending to distribute 20,000 litter bins to all of the regions in the country, 16 regions to be clear. And of course, she says that the litter bins are needed to make sure that we collect the garbage and we are able to manage it properly.
And people will use them to store water. Yes, as we found out in robbing the assemblies.
Yes.
Anyway, the police have taken 250 body cams. This is to ensure transparency. We know that the police, when they beat up Latif and beat up the Ghanaian Times reporters, it became an issue. So they are expected to take, they beat them up. They're expected to take 3,000 body cams. They have taken 250. The rest are expected to come at the end of the year. Of course, they also took up 4,500 body armor as well. And the IGP is excited about this. This is part of the 800 million support that the president announced in his State of the Nation address last year.
Thanks, Malik. Thanks, Raymond. And the online news review is brought to you by Zenith Bank in your best interest and GOIL Good Energy. Make your day productive by relying on quality fuel from GOIL. Your 3-time CIMG Petroleum Company of the Year, GOIL Super XP and Diesel XP, are additivated to enhance strong engine performance and prolong the lifespan of your vehicle. Above all, you are guaranteed extra quality with a fuel analyzer from our mobile laboratory van. Get your money's worth every day by buying fuel and lubricants from any of GOIL's over 360 service stations nationwide and experience good energy. Buy GOIL, grow Ghana, GOIL Good Energy, GOIL Yenara Yedia. Now, when it comes to traveling with ease and comfort, Zenith Bank's wide array of MasterCard and Visa cards will help you do just that. You can conveniently use your Zenith MasterCard and Visa cards at over 33 million Visa and MasterCard branded ATMs worldwide. On the internet for online purchases and payments, in-shop for payments of goods and services, at all Zenith Bank ATMs, and on local and international POS or retail outlets that accepts Visa and MasterCard. Sign up today, or if you already have one, use the Zenith MasterCard and Visa cards for a great travel experience. Go light with Zenith Bank. It's faster and smarter. Zenith Bank, in your best interest. We're going to go to myjoyonline.com first. NSMQ 2019. And FANSPIM's third NSMQ title, Dream Outmoded at Birth. Painful to read there. Over 50 Nigerians killed while siphoning fuel from a crashed tanker. BBC.com has obesity causes more cases of cancer than smoking. Right, we're going to take these important messages. We'll be right back.